Hello, it's Ryan from 2minutetennis.net, and in this video, I'm going to show you the proper follow-through on every tennis stroke. Please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Even share this video with a friend, as those are the best ways to support this channel. All right, so I'm using the Topspin Pro in this video. It is such an awesome product. I am an affiliate. You can check out my affiliate link in the description below. If you're a parent, a coach, or a player, pick up a Topspin Pro. So I'm just going to be showing you in this video the follow-through on every single stroke. Let's get right to it. So on a topspin forehand, this is what I'm going to do it from multiple angles. This is how I want you to practice your topspin forehand finish. I want you to catch the racket with your non-hitting hand higher than eye level. This is what you see Serena do. This is what you see Dominic Thiem do. I'm going to choke up a little bit just so I don't hit my ceiling. I'm catching the racket higher than eye level. I mean, heck, you see Nadal and he finishes up above his head like a mohawk, right? So this is not as foreign as you might think. So catch the racket in your non-hitting hand higher than eye level. Let's do the two-handed backhand. You'll notice it is a very similar position to the forehand finish. I mean, people talk about the two-handed backhand being like a forehand, and it's true. You'll notice you can see my armpits when I'm done. Check this out. Notice you can see my armpits. Most players do this, and their elbows are down like this. I want you to finish with your elbows high, and if you wanted to, you could look through your arms, but you're not. You're going to finish looking over because your hips turn, so you end up like a golfer looking over your back shoulder. Ends up coming forward, and you're looking over it, but you can see my armpits. My hands are higher than eye level. All right, let's talk about the one-handed backhand. The one-handed backhand, you're going to stay sideways on the finish where the arms go apart, brushing up the back of the ball, and your hitting hand, is going to finish very, very high. You'll notice when I'm done, I'm going to show you this from the back. As a right-hander, I'm actually going to finish with the racket to the left of my hand. That keeps the angle intact that I had at contact. Most players I see who struggle with their one-handed backhand finish like this. Now you'll see Wawrinka like this, you'll see Federer like this, you'll see Dimitrov like this, but they've lost this angle that they had at contact. So, but I should say this, all of those players in different situations, sometimes returning serve, you look at Tsitsipas hit a return a serve, his racket is still to the left of his hand. So I want you to finish on your one-handed backhand with your body to the side, your non-hitting hand behind you, and your racket up high, and if you're right-handed, to the left of your hand. The amount of accuracy and precision you'll instantly notice on your one-handed backhand will be apparent. All right, let's do the underspin or the slice forehand, but the underspin forehand. So this is going to be the finish I want you to use. If I'm hitting the ball that direction, I want you to swing your racket to your non-hitting hand, and your body is going to be 45 degrees to your target. So I'm hitting the ball that way, I'm going to finish 45 degrees, since I'm right-handed, 45 degrees to the right of that. But here's the finish I want you to use on your slice or underspin forehand. We're going to be moving our racket toward the target, and I'm swinging and finishing hand to hand. It looks like this, coming right at you. I'm going to the camera. Notice my wrists are lined up to the camera. My right wrist to my left wrist is lined up with my target. You're my target. And then I go straight to my target in my left hand. Here's the slice backhand. Here's the finish. My arms are apart. You'll notice my racket is slightly open, and you'll see this from the back. Very similar to the topspin finish, where the racket was to the left of my hand when I did the topspin, it's going to be to the left of the hand again, if you're right-handed. So you're going to stay sideways. Most players I see, they completely open up if they're hitting the ball, the way the camera's facing, and they swing left to right. I don't want you to do that. Again, if you're right-handed. If you're lefties, reverse everything here. But we're swinging toward our target. Move the racket in the direction you want the ball to go. Volleys. This is the volley finish I want you to use. We're going hand to hand. You'll notice my body is staying slightly to the side. So you could think of it as keep your body, to the net post. And you're going to move your racket towards your target, and you're going to have your non-hitting hand in front, and you just move the racket to the non-hitting hand. This position on the volley. This is what I normally see. I normally see the racket go from above the hand or below, or you see the racket is below the hand and people do this. I don't want you to turn with this hand here. Now, if it's a far stretch and you need this for balance, that's one thing. But if you're on balance and if you're learning the game, you're going to do a lot of on-balance hitting. The coach is going to be feeding you a ball that you can practice. Turn and put both hands over to the hitting side and then move the racket to your hitting hand on its way to the contact. I'll show you this from the back. So that's the finish I want you to use on your forehand volley. Backhand, very similar. We're going to be moving the racket toward our target. You'll see that my hands separate this time. It's just like the one-handed ground stroke. So the one-handed volley, the hands go apart, and you're going to try to move your racket towards your target. You don't want to just think of it as your arm swing. The volley is a momentum power source. So we want to be moving our body forward into the shot, if we can do it, right? Two-hander, it's the same thing. We're moving our racket toward our target. A lot of times I'll feed a ball to a student and I'll actually feed 2 balls in a row. I'll say, hey, I'm going to feed consecutive balls. So the 2 balls, like one is chasing the other. And what happens at first is they'll swing and then they'll hit the first ball with a swing and then the second ball goes by. And I show them, hey, you should be able to hit 2 volleys if a ball is chasing another ball. And then they go hit, hit. And then it's hit, hit, right? And then all of a sudden they've got a wall, which is what you want. You want to take the wall to the ball. And what I'll do is I'll say, okay, and I'll do it, over and over. And then I'll just feed one and they'll go like this. Where's the second one? I'm like, hey, that's how you should volley all the time. You should hit your volley as if there's another ball coming. And then your consistency goes way up. Watch this from the back. So take the wall to the ball. That's the finish I want you to use on your two-handed volley. Overheads. This is what your overhead should look like. I apologize for not being able to reach up super high, but I can do the finish. Arms crossed and not facing your target, but slightly to the side. Cross. The reason you're going to cross your arms is when you tuck this arm in against your body, it helps accelerate your racket. It helps to stabilize the body so the body's not moving. And then you stay sideways, allowing you to hit side spin, which is the preferred spin on an overhead. And you're going to finish with your arms crossed. It's called the power X. You can see my arms are crossed. You see Federer do this on his overhead. He will actually, now he crosses and then goes like this, and then the arm comes out. But if he actually held it like a beginner, he would actually have the X. And on the serve, it's the exact same thing. On the serve, you're going to finish with your arms crossed. Look at Federer when he's making contact on the serve. And I just made a video on this in the last week, is you want the tossing arm to tuck in against your body. And then if it just stays there, it's like this. You look at Raonic. Raonic has one of the biggest serves in the world. He's not throwing his left arm behind him. He actually keeps this arm tucked in. Djokovic, very similar. They keep this arm tucked in. So I want you to review this video often, and I want you to make sure, and by the way, I'm always mentioning this, but you need to film yourself to know what you look like. So let me review it one more time. Catch high in your non-hitting hand on the forehand. finish high on the two-handed backhand, hands higher than eye level, and you can see my armpits. The one-hander, stay sideways, and if you're right-handed, keep the racket to the left of your hand. If you're a lefty, keep the racket to the right of your hand. Underspin forehand, go hand to hand, putting a little underspin on the ball. Underspin backhand, swing out towards your targets like a tabletop, going across a tabletop, and your hands go apart. On the volley, you're going to go hand to hand, moving your racket towards your target. Underspin and the volley are very similar. The volley is just a shorter version. Hands go apart on the volley. Take the wall to the ball. You should be able to hit two balls. Two-hander, same thing, two-handed volley. On the overhead, finish with your arms crossed and slightly sideways. And on the serve, head up, slightly sideways, and arms crossed. The reason I'm showing you the finish is because in order to finish correctly, you needed to do many or all of the things leading up to the finish correctly. And it's a nice technique for coaches to help the student know where to finish. And if you know where to finish, you kind of have to do certain things correctly in order to get there. If you improve your finish and your follow-through on all of your strokes, you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.